Hello and welcome to the Great White North. I can't say it, I don't have a high enough voice. I would have to be like look, 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 look. It'll be easier like that. Yeah, I don't know. Something strange is like happening to me over the last little bit in my life because it's like I don't know. It's like uh, I grew up in a very conservative place in Canada, and then suddenly I'm learning French. So the thing is that if you if you grew up in Alberta, you grew up with a certain opinion and attitude toward Quebec, and um, it traveled the whole world. And then suddenly now I'm learning French for the first time. And then I mean, you remember my videos from a year ago when I was like, I hate French. But then suddenly now, like last night was the leadership debate in English for like the new Prime Minister of Canada. And I'm hearing the French guy talk, and I'm like, what? I mean, this guy is like super bright, super interesting, and you really have to pay attention to what he's saying because way that the things that are happening in Quebec are important to all of Canada, and they're particularly important to the people who speak French. And also France, it's really like the French Canadians do a much better job in connecting us back to Europe. And the thing about the US is that they're kind of like a little bit in desperation mode. They're trying to figure out how to get their hands back into the control pot. So somehow they lost that, that unipolar moment when they were in complete control of the whole world. And like, China's like a cat out of the bag, and Russia is like, hey, we can push around Europe. Suddenly it's a little bit like weird, like, what is going on in the world? But it's obvious that the US doesn't want to be friends with Canada like they used to. So if you don't want to be our friends, then it means that, Canada is a European country. And if we're talking about our relationship with Europe, then it was probably going to help if we have more understanding of Quebec and France. By the way, French speakers and French speaking people also have a connection to Africa. I've been to Africa and I couldn't speak any French at that time. So, but I was in Rwanda. Rwanda, is that what it's called? Yeah, Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda. And I haven't been to the countries that are like really like, Senegal and like the stuff on the west coast, the northwest area of Africa. That would be up fantastic. I would love to go there. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this dog, especially because that would give me a lot of opportunities to speak. Like right now, my tutor, we're doing a lot of reading, but like today, for example, she said something like a sentence in French, and like when she's trying to speak French, she doesn't have a lot of practice speaking French. She's good at reading French. It's really helpful because it's a low cost way to really ramp up the amount of reading practice I'm getting. It doesn't bother her because I think she enjoys studying French. So it's just a like a study buddy, and it's also like very low cost. Anyways, what am I talking about? Today marks like a major change in the situation of learning French. And I don't know, I kind of want to show you something that doesn't really make sense why I would show it to you because it's Russian. Check it out. So, this is a website where you can learn Russian. This is actually the first Russian website I went to in order to learn Russian. And I love this website. This is like, even though it's RT, the Russian agent, it's like America wants to make RT look like it's evil. Anyways, it's a news company, and they likely are supporting the current regime with their news practices. But if you look on the left side, you got 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15. What are all these things? So you go 1 to 100. These are grammar lessons. They give you, they're basically, you can learn everything that you need to know. You see, like speaking about periods of time with the prepositions "se" and "de," or se and po, or at and do, speaking about time constructions with words like davno, dolga, ni davno, ni dolga, speaking about equality with toja, taksha, and taksha kak e, reasons and consequences using blagadaria or izza, contrasting concessions, the difference between no and khatia. Like these are extremely important grammatical elements of the language. So you start at the beginning, like basically lessons, like I don't know, probably around 6 to 30. Those are all Russian cases. So the interesting thing about that is if we talk about the difference between French and Russian. So the Russian has a very simplified version of a past tense. It's probably within the first 10 lessons. You see here it is present and past tense. And then if you go down to the grammar section, you click on full, then you get the grammar, the Russian grammar for past tense. And what they're saying is basically you have group one and group two. Group one, it means that the Russian verb has an A in it. So what they're talking about is this A here, chital. So chital, it means uh, wrote, the past tense for write. And atdechal is like to rest. So you can see it has an A. And zaftrkal is like zaftrkal. It means like I had breakfast. And abijal is like I had lunch. And ujanal, I had dinner. And znal is like I knew. Dumal is huh? Znal. Dumal is I thought. And slushal is I listened. And stavil, I can't remember what stavil means. Stavit. And gulial means to have gone walking. And panimal is to have understood. And peel, why do they suddenly have a peel with no A? I wonder what that is. So group one, it means there's an A. And then this one is like lubil is an E. You see the E here? It means love. And hatil, it means wanted. So it's an E instead of smatril, it means to have seen or watched. Kupil, it means to have purchased. Gavaril, to have said. And yel, to have eaten. Now, do you see the words I'm using in English? To have eaten, you know, ate. Well, actually, it should be ate, said, bought, watched, wanted, loved, read, ate breakfast. And that's it for Russian. That's the whole business of past tense. There's nothing more complicated than that in Russian. They have a simple way of creating a past tense. They take the verb, they chop off the end, and they add a suffix. They add the letter L. And they do have the same. All right, so this is it. This is Russian. They got past tense. They just chop off the end of the verb and put an L. For present tense, they have different conjugations. They conjugate for all of the the personal pronouns, just like they do in French. And then zavtra, it's future. For the future tense, what they do for future tense is they use the word will, where they're conjugating. I mean, this one's a little bit different. The first one is conjugated a little bit different, but you can see this one is conjugated the same. This one's the same. M, et, ut. And this one's sometimes a little bit different. So this one, you can see what this matches from here to here. Rabotayet, robotayut, budit. So this actually is related to if you have an A at the end and if you don't have an A to the end. But that's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be right now. All right, what's the point? The point is that tenses in Russian, that's the only, but the thing is, it doesn't actually tell you the truth in this document because uh, there's actually a different way to say I will work. And it depends on if the verb is like, there's two forms of every verb in Russian. So it actually gets a little more complicated. It's related to um, actions, which are, I don't want to go into it right now. It's really complicated. It's one of the things that really makes Anyways, let's get back to French. What I wanted to show you was mainly about the past tense, because the past tense in Russian is super, super easy. The past tense in Chinese is also super, super easy. And then suddenly we're into this uh, French lesson, and suddenly I'm realizing, oh wait, French is super, super hard. And we're only on step one of past tense, because apparently they have like 2 or 3 different types of past tense. Like in English, we got like, I don't even know, probably 4 kinds of past tense. Once I found a YouTube video, and they did a really great job with teaching tenses. So I literally typed out the whole video, the whole YouTube video. All right, so here we go. In the past, we got past simple, we got past continuous, we got past perfect, and we got past perfect continuous. So we have 4 different ways to use past tense. That's crazy, right? So in English, we basically have 12 different types of time. We work with the grammar of time in 4 different ways. We have 4 distinct ways of expressing time. And if we go into the past tense, the past simple means we have like something started in the past and it ended in the past. We're referring to that thing which started in the past and ended in the past. Like yesterday, I ate. But then if we want to kind of express something like, well, during that period when that thing was happening in the past, then we could say, while I was eating. And then, well, if you want to say that it started in the past, but it's like hasn't ended yet, you could say, like, I have been to, oh, wait, how do you do it past perfect? Let's just jump. All right, so past perfect, it's X got to, X started. When we got to reach the theater, the movie started is past simple. You see, when we got, so we got there, we reached it, and then it started. When we got to the theater, the movie had started. This is past perfect. The movie had started. So it means that when we got to the theater, so we got there, meaning it was a finished action, the movie started, but it hadn't stopped yet. So we could say had started. Man, this starts to get really complicated. I had eaten too much food and then I got sick. I had eaten too much food. Wow. So, anyways, we're not talking about English grammar either. What we want to talk about is French grammar. And what they're saying is basically what you're going to do is you're going to use avoir or you're going to use être. Avoir means to have, and être is to be. There's also a couple of other ones. I think there's faire to do, and or maybe it's to make. And what's the other one? So there's 2 more actually that we have to learn, but we're just going to start with these 2 easy ones. Easy peasy. All right, now the grammar, what they say is that you have to take the verb and you have to put it into the past participle. So this is different than English, because in English, if we're using simple past, we're not going to take the verb and put it into the past participle. We only put the verb into the past participle when we're using past perfect. And maybe present perfect, does that use it? I don't remember. All right, so this is test number 1. So you've been with me for 45 days, and the question is, and I've been studying French for a year and a half, and the question is, how many of these verbs do I actually know? And then this is also the point, because now this is why I wasn't too worried about learning the verbs, memorizing the verbs, writing out the verbs, because, you know, now you have to learn the past participle, which means you have to connect the past participle to the hook, which is the original verb. And when you're learning the past participle, obviously you're going to be reviewing the actual verb. So avoir, to have. And now this one on the video, she said, like, because usually now that we've been learning this long, I mean, now that I'm doing reading exercises every day, day in, day out, hour to 2 hours every single day, been doing it for months. My French tutor today, so as you know by now, I'm a Mormon. I'm a Mormon, which is a cool religion to be part of. Because we got this book called the Book of Mormon. And so, anyways, there's one song. First and second books of Nephi, Jacob, Enos, Jeremiah, Words of Mormon, and Mosiah in the Book of Mormon. Alma, Helaman, third, fourth, Mormon, Ether, and Moroni. I learned the teachings of the prophets in the Book of Mormon. So we got this song. Yeah. So we got the song. In case anybody was doubting that I'm Mormon, and now that I sang the song, now you know 100%. Because we just finished the Book of Jacob, and now we're on the Book of Enos. We're starting the Book of Enos tomorrow. There's a video we can watch. Yeah, there's videos for all of these actually, and they're really good. I mean, decent quality, and also all right. So the problem with the video is
Nous sommes entre 544 et 421 avant Jésus-Christ au pays de Néphi. Enos prie Dieu pour recevoir.
So obviously the pronunciation is really great. I wonder what this is. We can watch the videos, kids' videos.
Enos, une prière fervente adressée au Seigneur. Jacob transmet les plaques à Enos, son fils. Enos écrit sur les plaques comme Jacob l'a fait. Un jour, Enos va chasser.
All right, so the videos are good, but the problem is that they only have I mean, if you speak English, it's fine, because, I mean, you can watch the English as you're listening to the French, so that's cool. Livre d'Enos. Enos prie avec ferveur et obtient le pardon de ses péchés. La foi du Seigneur parvient à son esprit, par promettant le salut pour les Lamanites à une époque future. Les Néphites. Okay, so how's my pronunciation?
Livre d'Enos.
Chapitre 1. Enos pria avec ferveur
Enos prie avec ferveur
et obtient le pardon
de
ses péchés. La voix du Seigneur
Le voix du Seigneur
parvient à son esprit, promettant le salut pour les Lamanites.
Promettant le salut pour les Lamanites. All right, so there you go. Like, this is a really great way to practice. I did my second hour today in French. Today we were reading this one, but I don't want it to actually play the sound because I'll get in trouble. There you go. Ravi de te voir. Okay, maybe I can just do it a little bit.
Ravi de vous retrouver.
Ravi de vous retrouver
Trouver au sommaire
de cette
édition
du mercredi. So this is like really great stuff for pronunciation and reading practice. Now, I did this lesson with this girl today. I listened to the first 30 minutes. I moved it back a little bit. All right, so we're doing great. Everything's going wonderful. It's like I was saying about Canada. So
okay, Bob,
So I'm watching this lady. Her name is Chantal Hébert. This is like the #1 French political columnist in Canada. So it's arguable. I mean, you know, there is one guy who speaks English who probably is more well known because Chantal Hébert, she speaks French as her primary language. All right, so you can watch her talk. I mean, if you click this YouTube link, they have I think it just started right now, actually.
if we were going to look at a big loser,
A Big Loser. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so it's running right now. All right. So what does it mean? It means like, yes, the pronunciation, usually the pronunciation for EU is but then the lady in the video, she said this is O. O, or O, I don't know. Now, the thing is that I gotta be honest. I don't like some of these like dit, écrit. Yeah, I recognize those two. Lu maybe. Vu probably, but that's it. And when I'm reading, when I practice reading, it's very common. Il arriva que moi, Enos, sachait que mon père était. What is this? Is this past tense? Père était injuste. I knew that my father was was a righteous man, and because he instructed on the language and also on the corrigion, whatever that is, et en m'avertissant selon le Seigneur, and all the knowledge and teachings of the Lord. A béni and thanks to soit le nom de what? Béni and thanks to soit. Okay, what is this? Soit. I don't know. Le nom de mon Dieu pour cela. Et je vais vous parler. Here it is. Je vais vous. And I'm going to tell you de lui que je soutiens devant Dieu avant de recevoir le pardon de mes péchés. Before I receive the remission of my sins. Voici, j'allais chercher. Okay, look at this. So you're seeing whenever you see these two verbs together, we know that something's happening with the time. And okay, so in this case, we're not seeing a lot of past tense, but often like, when I'm reading, I see été all the time, and fait, and dit, and connu sometimes, vu, pu, reçu, ouvert. Definitely, I see all these things all the time in reading. But look how far we've come. This is amazing. Like, look how many verbs are on this page, and like I know, like at least 75%. So the question is, when are we going to use avoir and when are we going to use être? So the girl, she was really video. She said être, there's basically 20 verbs, which you have to know. Aller, to go. Venir is, I don't know what, come. Entrer, enter. Sortir is to exit. Monter is to mount. And descendre is to descend. Arriver, to arrive. Partir is to leave. Passer is to, what, I don't know, go across. Rester, I don't know. Tomber is to fall down. Mourir, to die. Naître, I don't know. Apparaître. Devenir, revenir, rentrer. So basically, eventually, you're going to just get used to said, like, whenever you use the reflexive verb, then you're also going to use être. The rest of the verbs use avoir, apparently. And these exercises. J'ai, you see, I have trouvé, I have found, and then they take trouvé and they put that little thing at the end. That's a good point. So, okay. So then she did this little exercise. Okay, we have acheté, we have dîner, we have mangé, we have passé, fait, and pris. And can you turn these things into can you figure out the answers for that? All right, so here the original, okay, so it says the original verb was acheter, dîner, manger, passer, faire, and prendre. Yeah, so what are we doing? We're just getting exposure. I'm not too worried about actually learning this stuff. I'm just kind of getting exposure, reading it a few times, and then not worrying about it. Because, with all the reading practice and with all the challenge, that it's great, getting exposure. J'ai trouvé 100 euros dans la rue. Il a regardé un film. Nous avons rencontré un ami dans le parc. Oh, they had a weird thing today. I saw like belle amie. I didn't know about belle amie. If it's ami, it's masculine, but then like bel homme. So if you have a handsome man, it's bel homme, not beau homme. Also, de, when you use plural with beau, it's also de. so it's like details. Lots of details. So today we got this the challenge, right? So what does it say? Tu as fait quoi? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait? I don't know. Maybe we'll just talk it out. So tu as fait à quoi? So what is this? Tu as, you have. What? Quoi? What is quoi? Quoi? It makes it sound like who? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait? Fait. What is fait? Make, do? You have made. What have you made? What is it that you have made? Is that what the word says? What is it that you have made? Tu as acheté quoi? What is it that you have purchased? Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Vous avez dîné au. Au es-tu? Au est-ce que tu? Au est-ce que tu? I don't know. Où est-ce que tu avais dîné? Elles ont un téléphone. Pourquoi? Pourquoi? Elles ont. Qu'est-ce que? Why is it that you? Qu'est-ce que? What is it that you have? Pourquoi? Elles ont un téléphone. Ils ont travaillé comment? Comment-ils? Qu'est-ce que? This is the kind of stuff you're supposed to do so that you can get smarty smart. That Frenchy French thing. It's hard. But there's a cheat. Can you give me the answers to these exercises? Is it okay to cheat? Well, the thing is that this technically is not cheating. This is getting the answers. And then, because I'm not in a course, I'm not going to a university. I'm just trying to figure out. I just want exposure. Tu as fait quoi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Tu as acheté quoi? Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Où est-ce que vous avez dîné? Pourquoi est-ce qu'elles ont téléphone? Comment est-ce qu'ils ont travaillé? Quand et est-ce que... Let's take a look at the English for this. That might help a little bit. All right, what did you buy? What did you buy? Tu as. You have bought what? Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Vous avez. Where did you have dinner? Vous avez dîné au. Où est-ce que vous avez dîné? Elles ont téléphone. Pourquoi? Pourquoi est-ce qu'elles ont téléphone? Téléphoné. Ils ont travaillé comment? Comment est-ce qu'ils ont travaillé? How did they work? How did they work? Why did they call? I got the idea with the first three. But that last one was kind of a challenge. Or, I mean, number 4. How did they work? Is that really how ils ont travaillé? Comment est-ce qu'ils ont travaillé? Ils ont invité quand est-ce qu'ils l'ont, what is this word, l'ont invité? Where did they invite him? Why are we putting a le en in front of en? Ils l'ont, I don't get that. Wow, okay. Just gonna paste this into the document. Yeah, sometimes my study buddy gets upset. Like, hey, why didn't change me? It's like, I don't know. It's just trying to survive, man. Can you maintain your motivation for years? I can. And this is how I'm doing it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. All right. What's next? Let's jump back into ChatGPT. I kind of want to know what that is. Like, what's up? Tell me about the sentence. Your of this sentence. What was up? All right. Next one is. Oh, we should probably look at the actual tag first. Did I show you the? My goodness, I don't know if I even showed it to you. I think I did. We got a problem. I gotta take a nose blowing break. Now let's check to see if the dog is waiting outside the door. Man, that dog just loves running around at nighttime. All right. Let's keep this moving. Keep this moving. Okay. All right, so the next one says mettez à la forme négative，把下列句子变成否定形式。Quoi? What does that even mean? Fabien et sœur ont dîné dans un restaurant italien. Fabien et sa sœur n'ont pas dîné dans un restaurant. Fabienne a mangé du poisson. Fabienne n'a pas mangé de poisson. Ah, ok. A mangé. On dîner. On dîner. Avoir. On dîner. Had dinner. À manger. Ate. Fabienne n'a pas mangé de poisson. Sa sœur a pris de la viande. His sister pris. What is it? Pris. Took. She did not take viande. Meat. Il en prit. They took dessert. Il n'a pas pris le dessert. Okay. They had dessert. So they had dessert. They did not have dessert. His sister had meat. His sister did not have meat. Fabienne had fish. Ate fish. And they had dinner. Okay. Fine. Nothing, nothing to write home about. Well, sometimes my study buddy notices the arrows, like little arrows and stuff, which make it so like it's 100% sure that you used ChatGPT. 100% certain. How do kids learn these days? Do they just use ChatGPT for everything? Like right now, I'm creating this piece of software, and I'm using Google's software development tool. And now I don't need to talk to a software developer because I'm just making my own thing. I never had to learn a single line of code. So is that terrible? It's like so weird. When I learned Chinese, I had to do it like the good old fashioned way. But then Chinese, I don't know, I liked it. I liked writing characters. Ils ont invité quand, they invited him, her, when. Ils l'ont, the direct object pronoun, him or her. Invité, passé, this form is used in spoken or informal French. The word quand. L'ont. Direct object. Oh, I see. Oh, wow. That's a brain fart. It's they, him, invited. They invited him. When have they invited him? When did they invite him? The long is le. And because it's being invited by them, it's long. Wow, that's really difficult. It's really crazy that this is him. And this is the past tense. They're attaching the him to the past tense element of the sentence. So you have to know that invité is past tense. And if this is past tense, then you know that it's going to have the avoir verb in front of it. But then you also have to know that the avoir verb on is the way to conjugate avoir when you're using il avec s. And then you see that he is L apostrophe as it connects to a vowel sound. Wow, that's insane. All right, before we look at those answers, let's take a look at the actual. All right, we got 7 and 8. Let's get this over with. Put the order. Okay, so let's see. Elle est excellente, on très bien mangé. J'ai pris le métro et j'ai fait du corps à la Madeleine. Bien d'abord, j'ai déjeuné avec Harvey Louis au restaurant japonais à côté de la fac. Ah oui, et la cuisine est comment chez elle? J'ai acheté des verres chez Habitat. Ils sont très beaux. Et ensuite, j'ai pris un verre avec Lucie. Lucie, et après, qu'est-ce que tu as fait? Non, nous avons bu un café pris l'autre. Voilà. Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Alors, Simon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait cet après-midi? Okay, I think maybe. Do we start with Jay? How do we start this conversation off? Ding dong! Hello! Alors, Simon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait cet après-midi? What did you do this afternoon? Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? Chez elle, j'ai acheté. So we know it's going to be a. Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? J'ai acheté. So we got the I and F is a block. They go together. I and F are going to go together. Most likely. Alors, Simon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait cet après-midi? What did you do this afternoon? Is a J. Non. Et après, qu'est-ce que tu as fait? All right, so then there's going to be a J, it's going to be something, and then après, and then after that, it's going to be a G. Chez elle? Oh oui, ah oui, elle est cuisinée comment? Ah bien d'abord, j'ai deviné. J'ai pris le métro et j'ai fait de chronologie. Okay, I think it's this one. So, alors Simon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait cet après-midi? J'ai pris, I took the metro and I went shopping in Madeleine. So it's B. J and then B. Japanese bonds. Après, qu'est-ce que tu ferais? Probably that one. Let's do that. Okay, there, good. You went shopping? No. We want to ask what they bought first. Qu'est-ce que tu as acheté? I. And then we know that F is right after I. Okay, good. Elle est excellente. On très bien mangé. Bien d'abord, j'ai déjeuné. Oh oui, la cuisine comment? J'ai un après. Et après, qu'est-ce que tu... Non, rien d'autre que ça. Non, nous avons bu un café près de l'opéra, et voilà. Huh. Where are we? F is what? J'ai acheté. We bought this. Ils sont très beaux. Ensuite, j'ai pris un verre avec Lucie. Avec Lucie. Avec Lucie. Elle est excellente. Très bien mangé. Bien d'abord. Switch. Alors, Simon, qu'est-ce que tu as fait cet après-midi? Ah bien, d'abord, j'ai déjeuné avec... Ah bien. Ouais, je sais, ah bien, d'abord. J'ai déjeuné avec Harvey et lui au restaurant japonais à côté de la fac. Ah oui, et la cuisine est comment? Elle est excellente, très bien mangée. Et après, qu'est-ce que tu as fait? J'ai acheté des verres chez elle? Non, nous avons bu un café. Qu'est-ce que tu es chez... Ok. Yeah, fine. I don't think I could have done a better job within any kind of realistic time limit. Last one. Let's take a look at it. All right, so what are we doing here? Make the l'accord de l'adjective. Complete if necessary. 根据需要将下列句子中的形容词进行配合. So it's asking to 将下列句子中的形容词进行配合. It's asking if I need to make some changes to the adjective. If, like, for example, what? All right, so we want to know, j'ai acheté deux tables anciennes. So the tables, we're talking about old tables, and it's feminine and it is plural. And then what? And then elles sont belles, they are beautiful. Non, belle. Again, we're going to add an S. Ce restaurant est très bon. I don't know, seems like maybe we just leave it like that. La cuisine est excellente. J'aime beaucoup cette maison. Maison is feminine. Elle est grande, claire et très jolie. Ses enfants sont très beaux. It's très enfant. It's Plural masculine, ils sont bruns. Ou plural, et tous les trois. Elles sont jolies, ces chaussures noires. Both of those are plural and feminine. Amazing. Huh. You know, the strange thing is that at some point you're doing harder and harder exercises. They make sense when you see them, but they would have been too hard. Like, this wouldn't be too hard. This is really basic, but it is still kind of hard. All right. The point is to get it done, to send it to the study buddy, and to live another day. And then at some point, move to a country where you can speak French all the time, and then this stuff will actually matter. For now, just do the best you can. Save that, close that, say goodbye to everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.